Don't worry, Brian. Everything will work out.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I know.
Bye, Danny.
Thanks for coming, Mom.
Okay.
Come here. Give us a kiss.
Why?
Because it's time for Record Journal Athletes of the Week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may happen to be tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Mariner Record Journal, and welcome to this week, Athletes of the Week, Week 9 for the winter season, the Record Journal Athletes of the Week. And we're coming to you from Sheehan High School before Sheehan's Class M first round game against Prince Tech. We're filming here against the backdrop of James Marshall Hendricks. Why, Jimmy? Do you really need a reason? Hey, speaking of rock and roll, if you remember last week, we had our All the Young Dudes edition, 6 male candidates, and we've got our winners. We have 2 top vote getters. Our number 1 vote getter from Platt High School Wrestling, weighing in at 120 pounds, Class M runner-up, State Open runner-up, Mr. James Rondini.
We're here with our male athlete of the week from Platt, the junior, James Rondini. James, congratulations.
Thank you.
James, so tell me about this big week you had. You were second at States and then second at Opens. What were those 2 runs like for you?
It was difficult, of course, because in the state open, there's always hard kids, so you always got to put the work in. And from practice, I've put the work in since the start of the season, so I've been wrestling all the way up, and I ended up taking second in both.
Yeah, did that exceed your expectations? Did you expect to be number 2 in the state?
Little bit, because from the amount of work I put in, people are saying, like, you should win it, you should do this. And I was like, I can't keep the confidence in my head, but I have to, like, work to do it. So that's what I did throughout the season, and I ended up getting what I wanted. I wanted first, but it's okay. Second place isn't as bad.
Yeah. So take us through some of your big matches on your way to the championship match. Yeah, in the Open.
My round of 16 match wasn't a difficult one, but still had to work for it. My quarterfinals, I had a Staples kid who beat Tyler Johnson from Danbury, which is a hard match. Ended up winning 9-0, 8-0, one of those. Had to put the work in. He was a good neutral wrestler, so once I got on top, I think I had it. And then my semis-finals, I had Ty Finn, the number 2 seed, which is going to be a difficult one. Ended up winning 2-0, which was one of the greatest feelings because throughout the season I've lost to Simsbury, so I felt good beating him. And the finals, I went in nervous but confident at the same time. Ended up falling, but it was all right.
Now, what are your expectations for New England's?
I'm going to just keep going what I can do. I'm going to try and work as hard as I can, get as many wins as I can, and just win.
Thank you for taking time to speak with Spencer and Shawnee. You're preparing to go up to the New England Championships in Providence. We wish you luck up there. And if you want to use my little James Rondini intro, feel free. You just probably have to pay me some royalties because I've already copyrighted it. Just kidding, James. Good luck to you in Providence. Our other top vote getter, he was number 2 on the list of vote getters this week, did very well. And we spoke with him as well today, and we're glad we did because he, like James, is going to the New England Championships. He is from Lyman Hall Indoor Track. Mychael, top of the morning, top of the evening, Mychael Toppin.
We're here with our athlete of the week, a junior from Lyman Hall, Mychael Toppin. Mychael, congratulations on being athlete of the week.
Thank you.
Yeah, so it's been a record-breaking winter for you. Tell us about it, your performances at States and then the State Open.
I mean, during States, it was like really hard. I was worried a lot because you're going up against some really great athletes. But, I really wanted to try and go after pool. That was the goal. But I'll take PRs. PRs was doing good. Yeah.
So you finished second at States and then third at Opens. What did that mean to you?
It meant a lot, going from someone who just did long jump like last year to like coming in second and third in the state, which was insane.
Yeah. So tell me about that race, the 300. What is that like? You know, what's the mentality running that race?
I mean, it was a big difference going from like just doing 55-meter sprints to doing like a 300 event where now you have to like, you know, pace yourself a little more better and you have to have a lot more endurance.
And so now you headed to New England,
Yeah.
and then after that nationals. You know, what are your expectations for those two upcoming meets?
For New England, I'm trying to place. I'm really trying to place. You know, see if I go as far as I can. As for nationals, I'm also trying to do my best. You know, see how it is because it's my first time going to nationals and New England. So see how I do.
How big of an accomplishment is that for you to make both of those meets?
It's awesome. Like, it was my goal to like qualify for nationals, and I did. So now I got to find another goal.
And while we're on the topic of indoor track, this nice little segue here because our girls candidates for Week 8, they're all indoor track athletes. And some of this is a little catch-up from what they've done earlier in the year, but we wanted to get these girls because now we just had the all-record journal shoot for indoor track at the RJ office this past Sunday, and it takes no leap of imagination to know that Mychael Toppin was there. Some of the following girls may or may not have been there, but all of them have done something worthy of note, and we felt they were all Athlete of the Week, quality athletes. Whether or not they did it this week, last week, the week before, they belong here, and here they are in order. Alphabetical is the order we're going. Starting right here at Sheehan, home to Miss Erin Brennan, freshman pole vaulter. She was the SCC pole vault champ, continuing a fine legacy. Stephanie Phoenix, who's now up at Franklin Pierce, to Miss Kira Connolly, who's a graduating senior, and now Erin Brennan, SCC pole vault champ as only a freshman. Congratulations, Erin. You are girls nominee number 1 here in Week 8. Our second nominee, she is a sprinter. She is from Maloney High School. She is Miss Mychael Gallaher. Now get this now. Mychael Gallaher, she set Maloney's school record. She did it almost immediately after another Maloney girl, Deja Mangelo, had broken the record first. This was back at an invitational during the regular season, and Deja Mangelo runs a 7.9. Breaks the record, but like the record stands for all of like 2 minutes, if that, because in the next heat, Mychael Gallaher runs a 7.79, breaks that record, and Mychael Gallaher matched that at the Class L meet. She ran it in the prelim heat, 7.79. Mychael, she's a senior, and at this point she's graduating with Maloney's 55-meter indoor record. Congratulations to you, Mychael. You are girls nominee number 2 here in Week 8. Our third and final girls nominee, she is from Southington High School, the high jumper, Miss Sydney Garrison. We've interviewed Sydney. She holds the Southington girls record, indoor record at 5'4", and she set that at the state open, finishing second. The record she broke was one she held, 5'2". She had jumped at the Class L meet, a double L meet, that is, finishing second there. Ups it to 5'4" at the state open. She is on her way to the New England Championships this weekend in Boston. Sydney, we wish you well, and we also want to thank you and your folks again for having us over when we interviewed you in Trinity last week. Hey, who knows, you win again, we'll pay you guys another visit. All right, we're going to go over to our boys' nominees. Spence, you know our boys' nominees? I got a good cast of characters for you this week. We got a swimmer. Actually, he's a diver. We've got a basketball player. We've got a hockey player. We start with the diver right here from Sheehan High School. He's been walking these halls for the past 3-4 years. He is Mr. Andrew Bueller. Hey, he holds all the records here at Sheehan, and he just broke his 6th dive record with a 3:08.75 in the Lyman Hall meet last week. With that score, obviously he wins, completes an undefeated dual meet career. Never lost, Spence. Never. Every dual meet he was in, he won diving. He's a 3-time state champ, and Andrew will be going for state championship number 4 in the weeks to come. For now, he is boys nominee number 1 here in Week 8. Our second boys nominee is from Platt boys basketball. He is Mr. Tremayne Carter, junior guard. You remember Tremayne from football, had a fine season for the Panthers, getting to the semifinals. Big role at wide receiver. He's a big scorer for the Panthers in basketball. In fact, he's led Platt in scoring the last 4 games, averaging 20.5 points with a high of 25 against Berlin. He and the Panthers open the postseason next week. We wish he and his teammates well. For now, Tremayne, good to have you aboard. Long overdue, I admit. Boys nominee number 2 here in Week 8. And our final nominee, talk about overdue. We're going down to the Cheshire hockey because this team is red hot going to the postseason. They've won 7 games in a row. They're 15-4-1. Incredible defense. Nick Maringola, net, James Ilnicki, and Ben O'Connor on the blue line. You know, but their offense is doing pretty well too. And we're going with a forward, and he is their leading scorer, the sophomore, right here, Niklas Vasiljevs. 14 goals, 7 assists. That adds up to 21 points. That's the team high for Coach Anthony Justo's team, and we wish them well in the conference and state tournament. They probably don't need much luck, though, given the way they've been playing. One thing about Niklas it's important to note, he is the son of a professional hockey player from Latvia, Herbert Vasiljevs. And Mr. Vasiljevs, I got to say, if I'm mispronouncing your name, I got to confess. I knew some Lithuanian girls once upon a time, but you and your family would be the first Latvians I meet, and I do look forward to that. All right, and on that note, I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of The Record Journal. When you see this, it's Wednesday night about 6. Polls are open, baby. Go online now to Sunday at midnight, myrecordjournal.com/sports. Vote for your favorite boy, your favorite girl. We will bring you the winners next week. Be good.